Bastards! We have a right to work!
What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everyone else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
By the way, I hate this guy. Possibly my least favorite character, not as in like, I hate that he's in the game, but this guy is... real scum. So maybe for now I will kind of align myself with him, but... well, you'll see it later. I don't think I've chosen any sides yet. Regardless, I have some questions. I don't think I've chosen any sides yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Oh, right, he says it twice. Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
He bellows to the gate.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scab.
The loitering man hollers in return. I want to get into the harbor too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
I'm interviewing people about a murder that took place here, behind the hostel cafeteria here, there. That's an official matter not to be discussed with outsiders. I'm interviewing people.
I know nothing about a murder.
His reply is snappy and terse.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Absolutely nothing?
Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Sure, why not?
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Pity. Let us work!
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
He shifts uncomfortably in his workers' overalls. What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
He raises his fists and starts shouting again.
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting? What does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what.
Who are all these strikebreakers? Look around.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
The lieutenant looks him in the eye.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
He starts bellowing.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Curiosity, going to figure out the strike mess, a routine part of the investigation. I thought you looked real familiar for a second there. Curiosity.
Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
Already got that. I'm interested in your background. Makes sense, I guess. Never mind. I'm not gonna pry. I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
A bouncer? Where? I frequent a lot of bars. Maybe it's one I know. Sweet, I know bars. Been thrown out from several. Maybe that's why you seem familiar. Don't really drink, but work has taken me to some. Which one was it? Do we? Nah. Maybe Kim will have a fun reaction to that.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Yeah, I think I've been there. Not right now, but I might have been there. I don't really remember things well. I never heard of it. Are you lying? Yeah, I think I've been there.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
The man is quickly losing interest in talking with you. What exactly is your goal here?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Wait, head measurer? Have you considered storming in? Like, all of you? Why don't you just talk to them? Have you considered storming in, like all of you?
Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
The man rubs his jaw, a perfect, lightly bearded square wedge. I'm just going to leave now. Alright, let's take a look at that. What does that say? It says GRIH, the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor, of course. Well, let's go.
Scab?
Here, Scab asked the man with jolly eyes tilting his head.
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
No, I don't want to deal with this again. Did you just call me a... I'm not gonna say that. What exactly is a scab? Yeah, I'm a scab. Poor and downtrodden. Wave your fist. Right to work. I'm not a scab, I'm a cop. I'm gonna go with the first one.
No, I said scab.
Yeah, I'm a scab. Poor and downtrodden.
Good one, officer. Don't worry. We here have solidarity with the RCM. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
He chuckles, then realizes...
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
I've come to Martinez investigating a murder. I'm looking for assistance with a dead body situation. Despite of what I just said, I'm actually a worker like you. Show him the stolen ID card. I'm a bit short on money right now. Can you give me some of it? You know what? It's the fun option.
The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then back at the card, then at you again.
But that's not you, officer.
It's an old picture. Take a closer look at the card. Guess not. It's an old picture.
From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dock worker named Santiago Jean?
Yes. Does not seem plausible now that I think of it. Yes.
Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How did you get his shift card?
I literally stole it off him while he slept. I found it on the ground at the Whirling in Rags. It was like a sign. The wind deposited it before my feet. I feel a closeness to this person. You know what? We're the assholes here.
Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again? He should watch his step, that John. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Sure, I have no real need for it. No, I'm afraid the card's evidence in an ongoing investigation. No, I need to continue my undercover infiltration of this compound. Otherwise, it's as if I just stole the card for no reason. You know what? Let's go with the 3 here.
Oh, okay. Good luck with that. So, what do you need?
I'm a bit short on money right now. Can you give me some of it?
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
He flips a coin towards you. Let's try to catch it.
The coin merrily slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule.
The boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
That's not what that says. Lieutenant Kitsuragi picks up the coin and hands it to you. I almost had a heart attack.
I'm really sorry, friend. Fritz nearby. Get some Nosafed. Good stuff. Helps against heart attacks, too.
I've come to Martinez investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
It's actually very fun and easy. You're right, it's almost impossible. I'm 91% sure I'll never get it solved. I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe you want to help me solve it by telling me who did it. I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's okay. I have no idea what I'm doing either. I don't even know what day it is. Don't tell me. It's a better day that way.
I'm looking for assistance with a dead body situation.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
He takes a swig and points up the stairs with his flask.
Beneath the jolliness, he suddenly seems doubtful.
That simple, I just walk in.
Aye. Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him.
Right.
Then press the button to unlock the door.
Uh-huh.
Then go past him again.
Okay.
And you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
For some reason it doesn't seem like it's going to be that easy. Gotcha. I think I have some questions for you first. Don't think it's gonna be that easy.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation. Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone here ever bested him in a physical confrontation? Well, I did. With my 2 in the physique stats. Somehow, I got a really lucky roll, and I did it. But this time I'm not gonna try for that. Has anyone here ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Has any of the scabs tried converting to his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Got it. Another thing?
Sure.
What's the strike about anyways?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Nice talk, gotta get moving. Alright, let's walk up here. A notice, in case of a strike, press button behind guard. A hermetically sealed door locked by electronic means. There's no lockpicking or door kicking this one. Yeah, fair enough. More than enough to please a woman. Okay, let's talk to Measurehead, who's amazing apparently.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees. We're just gonna be the aggressive asshole and size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
I mean, this guy is a complete asshole. I'll tell you that right away. But some of the things he says just amazing. Some other things he says less than that, not great. But sometimes he just puts out some gold. Puff out your chest, still say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
He looks down at you, taking stock in your physique.
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular. Your joints ache and you feel old, but still alive, somehow.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
She holds her nose. What do you mean my body betrays my degeneracy?
You have succumbed to Al Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust, as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Wait, Al Ghul?
Yes, Al Ghul.
I mean, obviously it's alcohol, but this time my brain didn't chime in to let me know. But what is Al Ghul?
Al Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
You mean alcohol? This explains everything. This has nothing to do with why I'm here. This explains everything.
Servitude to Al Ghul does not explain everything. There are other reasons for your race descent.
Kim, is it really so bad?
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
You're right, I'm a servant of Al Ghul, but I still need that dead body down from the tree.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
I am the police and I need you to comply now. Take a step closer. The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need you to help me do my job, please. I'm gonna be the aggressive asshole again.
Jerking motions. Signs of a late-stage neurodegenerative disorder. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
You might have already guessed it, but we're gonna end up trying to befriend this guy in this run. Simply because his views are so awful, I have to be aligned with him.
This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Let's push him out of the way.
That is right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war.
Just trying to push him, and he's just like, that is right. Just sometimes he just has gems, absolute gems, and then he says stuff like this, yeah.
Bring your troops to the Semenine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
This is your chance. He's talking. Rip into him with a punch and catch him off guard. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate.
Don't be such an asshole to your fellow dock worker. Show him the stolen ID, let's do it.
The man looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul.
You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the phrenically impaired can see this.
You serve the Union, don't you? Aren't they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
He turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you. I'm sorry, of course, I understand now, deeper. Since we do want to kind of align with him, I'm gonna risk clicking the sorry cop option for once.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital. Something your race, naivistic communists, never did.
I'm no communist.
Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race's fate. All around you, the fruits of its defeat. Individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted disease. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music?
I said I'm not a communist. I don't know who I am, but that's one thing I know. I have gotten it from disco, actually. It's true, I'm a rock and roll star and a rebel. Youth culture does not affect my thinking. I said I'm not a communist.
Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture has made you dress in this shameful way?
I've gotten it from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race.
Okay, I'll ask, who are the Seminese?
The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. Millennia before you. We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Semini's women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
You know, one thing about this game that I really love is just how they name places. The names they give to places, it just works so well. I think this world was originally invented for like a roleplay campaign, like tabletop stuff, and you can tell that they put a lot of effort into that. So you did come from the islands, so you did not come from the islands, understood. So you did come from the islands.
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
We want to be friends with him. Cool.
Yes.
Okay, Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
How do you know there will be a next racist?
There always is.
Race is reality.
Kim is sadly spot on there. Know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Know anything about it?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts mugs into trash?
What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean?
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
He gestures towards the lorryman down on the street.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt.
True, that is a noble cranium, but you got a hard noggin yourself.
You sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? You're right, that's craniometric perfection. My race does not stand a chance. Say nothing. Are you sure?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
What else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Ghul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
Interesting. So one of my ancestors was Sur-la-Clève and the other Vesper?
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Revacholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Ghul. That is the only reason you are here.
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober.
Conceptualization is at a 72%. Physical instrument is at a 58. Let's quickly do something.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
His gaze wanders over to the whirling's roof, to the yard. Yes, 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 Kim, I know, I'm aware. We're just gonna quickly grab the intellect-raising cigarettes. We have to unequip them and equip them again because of the inventory bug, and there we go. There we go, intellect raised. Ah, and damaged health, of course. Let's talk to you again.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Also, one thing I forgot. I think I haven't quick saved in a while, so let's just do that.